But we will talk now to Representative Marc Veasey. He's a Democrat from Texas and member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Congressman Veasey, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
And your thoughts on the killing of Charlie Kirk?
My thoughts and prayers go out to his family. I did not agree with anything that Charlie Kirk said, but he absolutely did not deserve to be killed that way. And it makes me sad to think about the way that he lost his life, and that the fact that that's something that those images are going to be something that are shared for years to come, and that his family has to endure that. It makes me sad, and I really am very sincere in saying that I am going to be praying for his family. I think that it's sad, and I think that it's an unfortunate day for America.
And also today marks the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, as we think about the 9/11 attacks, aviation is much safer than it has ever been before, but we still need to keep making improvements in honor of those people that lost their lives. I mean, it's sad to think back, and I think I was a congressional staffer back then. I was working for Martin Frost, and I was working in his Texas office, and I was actually on my way to NASA when I heard the news. It's something that I'll never forget, and we have to keep the memories of those that perished in both the towers and on the airlines and on the ground, our first responders whose lives were lost and changed forever because of 9/11, 2001. And so I also keep them in my prayers, and want, as a legislator, to keep working in a bipartisan way to make our airlines continuing to be the safest in the world, and to make our country safer. We want to make sure that Americans here and abroad can always feel safe, and that is going to take bipartisan cooperation, and we should always keep that in mind as we think about 9/11.
And Congressman, there was a lot of national unity after those attacks on 9/11. What do you think happened? Why do you think that wasn't that we weren't able to stay at that level of unity?
I think, like anything else, when something like that happens, it's shocking and it brings people together. But after a certain amount of time, people go back into their everyday daily lives and into their routines, and that's really unfortunate. I hope that when we have tragedies that we can actually sit down and come together. There are always going to be forces that want to pull us apart, but I really do hope that we can get back to a point in time in America to where people can disagree with one another, but still be able to share the same stage, still be able to be neighbors, still be able to cohabitate with one another. We've really gotten away from that in this country, and we should be concerned about a lot of the political violence and the fact that we're probably more divided now than we have been in a very, very long time in this country.
And Congressman Veasey, your district, the 33rd district, covers Dallas, Fort Worth, Carrollton, and Irving, Texas. Governor Abbott signed a law recently to redistrict the five seats, and yours did have some geographical shifts. Can you tell me what's going on with is your house in the new district, or what's happening with the 33rd?
No, my house is actually not in the new district. My house is in Tarrant County, and the district that I represent has been shifted entirely into Dallas County. And I do believe, though, that the maps are not going to be upheld. I think that they won't be enacted. Speaking of division and divisive times in our country, you think about pre-1965 Voting Rights Act, and that's basically what this map is. This map takes us back to 1960, and I don't think that it's going to be upheld. I think it's illegal. I think it's unconstitutional. I think it violates Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, and I think that we're going to run under the current maps. I think the governor knew that he was intentionally violating the law. He's practically said that much. And I think that this is a way for him to put a feather in his hat so he can be one of the first governors from the old Confederacy to say that he struck down the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. I think that this was about bragging rights for Greg Abbott because he wanted to be the guy that took down the Voting Rights Act. I think that a lot of the states in the old Confederacy, whether Ron DeSantis, Greg Abbott, other people in the South are sort of in this contest to see who can discriminate against black and brown voters the fastest. And it's unfortunate, but I think that that is truly where we're at right now. And I think that we're going to run under the current maps. I think that the maps that they pass in the state legislature are a blatant violation of federal law.
You co-host a podcast called The Fly-In. Can you tell us about that and what the mission is for that podcast?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Greg Landsman out of Ohio and I host a show called The Fly-In. So basically, the way what that means is the Fly-In. The way how we got the name was that is the day that all members of Congress fly into D.C. As you know, we are on an abbreviated schedule here during the week. We normally fly in on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then we fly out on a Thursday or a Friday. And so we came up with the idea to call this podcast The Fly-In to designate and we do it on the day that we fly in and get ready for votes on a Monday or Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern here in D.C. at the nation's capital. And it's a center-left podcast. We talk about a lot of issues that moderate Democrats are interested in because we wanted to give voices like ours an opportunity to be more prevalent out there in the political debate. Because right now, obviously, we have a lot of debate from progressives, and we have a lot of debate from the far right. But we really wanted to have a podcast that sort of focused in on center-left politics, and that's why we started the podcast. And it's called The Fly-In, and we did such a good job that one of the news outlets here decided that they were going to host a podcast called The Fly Out. And so, as they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And so I think that The Fly-In is catching on.
All right, that's Representative Marc Veasey, a Democrat of Texas's 33rd District and member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.